Всем привет, ребята, с вами я, Sayour. Давайте чекнем новый видосик, значит,
Today, I'm once again
по майну. Реально, это у нас опять, я так понимаю, моды. Давайте чекать, реально. Кому понравится, Лукас, вот. И по подсказочке сверху плейлист данного блогера, мы делаем реакции на его контент, вот. Так что заходи, если интересно, чекнем. Может что-то и понравится, реально. Погнали.
it out. So right away, we're going to be using all the mods that I included in the previous
что тут
video. So if you
первый?
haven't seen that one, you should check
Мод типа на, я так понимаю, динамит.
it out just to see where we're at right now. Although there are a few mods that may be replaced simply because
Вот такой я сразу же обсыраю, мне вот такой не нравится.
there's a better option or way to do it by now. And probably the greatest example of this is we actually don't need Optifine anymore if you want to use fresh animations.
Это
And this is
шо?
due to the existence of a pretty new mod
Вот этот мод я помню.
called Entity Model Features, which literally adds the feature from Optifine that lets you use fresh animations. And this just brings us another step towards not really needing Optifine anymore. And I still really like it as a mod, as it's pretty much a massive all-in-one, whereas with Sodium, you'll need a bunch of mods in order to get the features the Optifine provides you. But at the same time, Sodium with Iris just generally has better performance, and things like shaders will switch a lot quicker, and you can even toggle them on and off on the fly, which I really love. And
Ну
overall,
да,
if
я
all the
так
mods
понимаю, это типа он добавил, значит, тайм-код, что будет в видео, да? Ну, давай дальше смотреть, что тут у нас. Первый модик. Что ты его завис, гребаный
into
стрим?
using that. Now, next I'll be providing a resource pack alternative to Stay True, which by
Resource
the way I
pack?
still think is an amazing resource pack, but the replacement, which is called Azali's Enhanced Vanilla, does pretty much the same thing as Stay True, except remains a little bit closer to the true appearance of vanilla Minecraft. And really, between these two, it's just going to completely come down to your preference. They're both great resource packs that you can absolutely use, but make sure you are using the continuity mod,
Я до хрена таких ресурс-паков,
because if
если
you're not,
честно,
you're going to be
есть.
missing out on pretty much the best features.
Там, ну да, он по-любому там это говорит, пофиг. Надо зайти в настройки и там включить какую-то фигню, чтобы оно, ну вот так вот, типа рассыпалось.
Of both of these packs. And after that, even though I included it in the previous video, I'm going to be mentioning the physics mod, and I guess more specifically physics mod
Мне
pro, which,
нравятся вот эти брызки.
by the way, is actually now free to everyone, so you'll have access to all of these features now. And I really do believe this is one of the most satisfying mods you can have in Minecraft, and pretty much everything it does can be
Ну, кстати, это интересно.
customized, so if you don't like a particular feature, you can just get rid of it. And most of the features it provides are client-side, so again, if you want to play with this mod on a server, you can easily do so. Now, next, I'm going to be showing off a shader that's been pretty popular lately, and this is Rethinking Voxels. And in my opinion, this just may be the best-looking shader you can possibly use in Minecraft, although I would mostly say this statement applies to Underground specifically. On the surface,
конечно, без минусов никуда. Вода настолько прозрачная, что ты ее просто не видишь. И как будто нет, типа.
it still looks quite good as it's based off of complementary shaders, although some of the visuals can be a bit buggy, which is to be expected as the shader is still in its earlier stages. And what makes this shader just so fantastic and satisfying to use, as you may have noticed by now, is its amazing shadows, or specifically shadows cast by light sources. And pretty much every other shader in the game, when you place a torch, just does what vanilla Minecraft does. It just makes the surrounding area glow, but they don't cast any shadows, which just isn't very convincing. And you can even enable a setting which allows this to work while holding a torch, which is especially cool, although sadly it doesn't seem to work in third person. But regardless, these shadows add so much depth to the scene. It also has some pretty amazing fog underground, and really, these two features combine to make the shader absolutely incredible to use. Now, another mod will be included, which I believe to be immensely satisfying, is Auto HUD. And what this mod does for you is makes it so whenever you're not actually using your hotbar, it'll hide itself. And in my opinion, in video games, when it comes to HUD, unless it's a shooter or something, less is better. You don't need all this information on your screen 24/7. It really should only be there when it's necessary. And this is something that a game like Elden Ring did very well, but a game like Cyberpunk kinda dropped the ball. Just get rid of all of that, and in my opinion, the game suddenly looks so much better. And this applies to Minecraft as well, and honestly, it doesn't have that much HUD overall, but at the same time, the hotbar is always there, and this mod does a great job of getting rid of it when you don't need it. And just in case there's a moment you want your HUD to be permanent, you can just press a hotkey and it'll stay there. So really, it's kind of a no-lose situation. And this mod mod goes
да,
great with the
типа.
dynamic crosshair mod, which we added in the last video, as that mod's going to take care of getting rid of the crosshair when you don't need it. Next up, I'm
Оу.
including the drops mod, and this is still, in my
Ну, это
opinion, maybe the most
база.
satisfying mod that makes changes to item drops in the game. Whereas most other mods that do something like this, including physics mod, generally just change kind of like the animation of how blocks drop. This mod adds an entirely new way to simulate how blocks fall. If you throw a block down a hill, it's gonna roll and will keep rolling until its momentum stops. Will this sometimes be a little inconvenient? Probably, but it's a lot of fun to play with and quite satisfying, so oh well. And by the way, if you're gonna have this mod installed along with a physics mod, you're definitely gonna need to disable physics mod's block physics, because otherwise it's gonna end up looking like this, which you probably don't want. After that, I'm including the cave dust mod, and this mod takes the particle effect that you can find in the nether and applies it underground in caves. And this mod has a fair amount of customization to it, so if you want the particles to be rare, you can do so, and if you want the amount of cave dust to be absolutely suffocating, by all means go for it. And this goes a long way towards making our already very beautiful caves look even better. Now, next, I'm adding a mod that, if you're like me, is very nice to have, because you generally like to play in third person whenever you're writing something. And this is the auto third person mod, which makes it so whenever you hop on a boat or a horse, or really anything else that you're riding, it'll automatically switch to third person. And I just love having this mod installed, because generally I'm not going to play Minecraft in third person unless I am
вот эти
writing
брызги,
something. So
это
this mod just
всё.
gives me a perfect
Ой,
combination of
волны
both
здесь,
without
да,
actually
здесь
having
всё
to do
так прям
anything. The next mod I'll
хорошенько.
be including is advancement plaques, and this mod completely changes the appearance of advancements when they pop up on your screen,
вот
and even
этот
have a
мод
new
я
sound
знаю.
attached to them. And this just makes you feel like an absolute beast when you do something. Honestly, it actually feels like an achievement at this point. And this mod is a little bit of a contradiction
Ну,
to
это
the toast
прикольный
manager, which I
мод, вот
included in
это
the
да.
previous video.
Вот это
But
реально
honestly, it's so
прикольно.
satisfying. I'm doing a 180 on this and including it. Next, we have time and wind, and this mod's gonna allow you to
Посмотри на
customize
те
exactly
волны,
how
это
long both
капец.
days and nights are. And in my opinion, Minecraft days, and I guess nights by extension, are just simply too short, and I honestly think there should be a game rule that allows you to choose how long they are. But until the day comes that that's added as a feature, we're gonna have to go with mods for now. And what's really great about this mod is if you want nights to be really short but have
Я
long
как
days,
оно
you can absolutely
подфризывает,
do
как
that.
будто,
Next,
да,
I've
немного.
included the vanilla refresh mod, and this mod includes a pretty extensive list of simple but quite satisfying features to the game. And some of these include the ability to completely customize the position of armor stands, XP that'll travel pretty much any distance in
Прикольно.
order to reach you, biome titles whenever you enter a new biome, and the ability to
Dark
place
Forest.
ladders under yourself if you're dropping from a ledge. And again, these are just a few of the many features that are available to you, and once again, if you don't
Ну,
like
вот
any
это
of these
база.
features, you can just disable them. After
Если
that, I've included
честно, это чисто из террарии, я так понимаю, да, вот такое брать? Или... Хотя я не в террарии такого как будто не было, я не помню, если честно. Ну, в целом офигенная, типа, затея. Ну, это не по-майнкрафтовски, я так понимаю.
the visuality mod, and this is a pretty simple mod that just adds some new
Мы,
particles
короче,
to the
такого
game,
не
depending on
получим,
the
это факт.
situation. So you'll notice, for example, when a slime is hopping around, little bits of slime will pop up underneath it. If you damage a skeleton, bones are just going to be launched off of it, and things like amethyst, ores, and armor will sparkle. I've also decided to include the eating animation mod, as this mod adds a unique animation to pretty much every single thing you can eat in the game. It's a pretty simple mod, but you're going to notice this quite often, as, you know, you have to eat a lot in Minecraft. And another mod I've added that is quite simple, yet once again pretty satisfying, is make bubbles pop. With this mod installed, bubbles generally last quite a bit longer and will always reach the surface, and this is especially noticeable when you're doing something like throwing a trident. Here's a vanilla comparison just so you can see the difference. And again, it's not the biggest mod in the world, but one I would absolutely consider satisfying. For our next mod, I've included another mod that's going to make third person just a little bit more exciting, and this is
Анимации,
not
там
enough
всё, да.
animations. And this mod adds both first person animations
Ну,
and entirely
понимаешь, минус заключается... Не, вот смотри, вот допустим, вот на бедроке есть анимации, да, и ты такой, почему, почему типа там есть, типа, а на Java нет, насколько я знаю, да. Вот, прикол в том, типа, да, это классно, но, во-первых, это, я думаю, минус FPS, это во-первых. Во-вторых, ты же сам, если будешь сам играть, к черту тебе эта фигня надо вообще, ты же это даже видеть не будешь. Я знаю, есть такие люди, которые играют вот от третьего лица, да, но, блин, их очень мало. Это факт.
the new animations to third-person mode. With this mod installed, your character is going to hold a map in their hands, your arms will be in a forward position when riding a boat or a horse, and ladders even have both a climbing and holding animation. So you know, between this mod and some of the other mods we've added in this video and the previous one, that all affect third-person mode, playing in third person is going to be quite a bit more viable. Now, another mod I've added is the clear despawn mod, and this mod makes it so whenever an item is about to disappear, it'll actually start flashing in order to indicate that that item will soon be gone. And at first, I didn't think I was going to be able to include this mod in this video because I did not expect to work with the drops mod, but to my surprise, it does. And this is a great mod to have installed to induce even more lost item panic as you see your items are about to be gone, but at least you'll know. Now, approaching the end, in this spot, I'm actually going to be focusing on 3 different mods. And these are all world generation mods that only use vanilla blocks, so if you'd like, you could use this mod on a server, and players that are using a completely vanilla game could join. The first of these mods is Terra, which in my opinion provides potentially the coolest terrain generation I've seen from a mod, although I will say it's a bit more intense on the computer, so keep that in mind. The second is Terra Lith, which is a little closer to vanilla than Terra.
Почему так нельзя? Посмотри на эту пустыню, и капец она охренительно выглядит. Почему нельзя так сделать в ванильном Майнкрафте? Почему? Я это не понимаю. Это же плюс все. Вот эти маленькие, да, вот эти кустики, вот эта земля, вот что здесь, да, рассыплено, цветочки на кактусах. Вот эти маленькие недочеты, которых нет в Майнкрафте, да, они прям реально нужны. Я не понимаю, почему разработчики это не добавляют. Я реально не понимаю, почему так.
Still pretty far away. And with Terra Lith, you're also going to get all new underground biomes and structures in your world. And the last of these mods is William Wyther's Overhauled Overworld. And this one doesn't fit in quite as seamlessly with the rest of the video for the simple reason that I made this video in 1.19.2, and this mod currently is only available for 1.19.4, or at least specifically the version that's on ModRent. The version on CurseForge kept crashing my game, but if you can get it to all work together, then this is absolutely a worthwhile option. And finally, the last mod I'll be including is Snow Under Trees. And honestly, I think this mod makes snowy biomes look significantly better because there isn't just beautiful green patches of snow in the midst of a very snowy landscape. And I'd actually say this is pretty important to have if you have the physics mod installed specifically for the snow that's...
Немного выглядит все-таки как 3D-модель и дерьмово немного, чуть-чуть. Но в целом офигенно, да.
Provided by that mod, because if you
Но
don't,
именно
again,
в этом
the snow is just
биоме
gonna
выглядит
abruptly
очень
stop in a
фигово.
bunch
Вот
of
эта
spots.
трава,
And I just don't think
типа,
that looks
да.
very good. And there you have it. At this point, we've installed a whole lot of
Трава
mods,
в
shaders,
снегу,
and
это
resource packs,
выглядит
and in my opinion, Minecraft is looking incredibly satisfying right now. And if you'd like to try this for yourself, you can find all the mods in the description below. Just keep in mind again that I was using version 1.19.2 for Fabric in order to install all these mods. That could change in the future to...
Ну, вот такая вот реакция, да. Ну, вот эмоции, это прикольно. Вот эти не эмоции, а как анимации. Анимации мобов там и так дальше. Это реально имба, как по мне. Реально имба. Вот кому понравилась реакция, Лукас надо поставить. Вот реально. Кому нет, дизлайк, только в комменте написать. Почему не понравилось, почему поставил дизлайк, реально. Вот. Подписывайся на канал. У нас 80% людей смотрит без подписки. Это вообще не круто, как по мне, реально. Вот. Всем спасибо, ребят, за просмотр. В описании ссылочка на видос будет. Так что залетай в описание, если тебе понравился ролик. Вот. Всем спасибо, ребят, за просмотр. Всем удачи, всем пока.